What's up, everybody? Welcome to another very special episode of Critical Points. Today I have a huge interview with the one and only Joker from Gankstars. Say what's up.
Hey, what's up, guys? Glad to be here.
Welcome to the show, man. It's been a long time coming. Obviously, I've been trying to get you on for probably about a year now. So let's start with the basics. Tell us about your journey in the mobile community, how you built your name and your fan base.
Well, it kind of started off, I started playing on the iPod Touch, third generation when it came out. I got the game called Brothers in Arms and, fell in love with mobile gaming. And from there, I just started playing Modern Combat 1, going to Modern Combat 2, and going to Modern Combat 3, building a clan called SXE. And then from SXE, moving on to Modern Combat 4, building a big fan base in Modern Combat 4. And how I did that was by grinding the game so hard, so much, to the point to get to the first place on a leaderboard for 6 months. I was there, and they had a clan tag called you can put whatever you want for the clan tag. Mm-hmm. So I put mine as YouTube, and that's where my YouTube started blowing up. I hit 6,000 subscribers like the very first month, and that's when I started growing. And I was like, hey, you know what? Why not just build a YouTube channel? And at the same time, I was growing my clan and stuff. And from there, I grew SXE, and I grew my YouTube channel as well. And from there, went to Modern Combat 5. Modern Combat 5 kind of got a little boring for us. So Critical Ops came out, and everyone heard about it. And I was like, hey, you know what? I want to give it a shot. It's really competitive, and why not? Got the beta, got the alpha, and or alpha to beta. And from there, I just started to fall in love with the game and basically playing it nonstop. And I kind of closed down SXE because a lot of our players, it's like all of the thing with SXE was me building it. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of got tired of doing all that. And I was like, dude, I just want to have fun. I want to play. I want to do my own thing. I've been taking care of everybody. And so that is basically how it went. I was like, okay, I'm closing this down. I'm going to work on my own, and build on myself. And from there, I closed SXE. And like 3 weeks later, Vulcan, he was like, hey, Joker, mm-hmm. GS is looking for a player. And I was all right, I'm going to join. And I came. It was pretty difficult, actually, at the start because all the players weren't doing as great. And Gankstars was in a bad spot, and they had a bad reputation with all these players coming in, and they were really toxic and everything. And basically, it started off bad, but then it blew up pretty well. We got a lot of good players come in, and from there, we basically became one of the best clans.
Yeah.
Orgs.
A lot of people forget that, when you guys started GS, you guys weren't always at the top. A lot of people forget that the hard work that, developing the right rosters to put in before you guys became now the eventual reigning champions for literally almost a year now, I believe. And it really shows a lot to building the team chemistry of a team. How pivotal and vital is that to you? Do you believe, building the right players, but also the right management? Like, obviously, Judgment went from player to now a manager. How important is that to building the right team in this game?
Building the right team, it takes a lot of work because you have to find the right people. So in the beginning, I was with Pun, I was with Vulcan, Tubies, all these players, right? And it wasn't really great because no one really showed up for practice. Sometimes people would show up, sometimes won't, And it came back to the desire. Like, I wanted to win it. I really wanted to win. And there was Team Phoenix, Kings Clan, whatever. All these clans were dominating. And for us, for me, I was looking at that and I'm like, dude, I want to dominate. How do I get there? So the first step, you got to find the right people. So I found basically DC, which was Judge was in there, or Dom. Dom was there. I found Dom. Well, I think DC was sort of with the Elite and Judge were in it as part of Night as well. if you know Knight.
Mm-hmm.
He's GS Knight. From there, like basically, I picked up Judge, I picked up Elite and Knight, and they all wanted the same goal. They wanted to be the winners. They want to win. They want to be known. They want to grind and everything. And basically, that's how it kind of started. As soon as I found the right people, everything changed. Yeah, we were losing first couple months with them on the lineup, or whatever. And then after that, we started winning. And it's because we put our time into it. We started like, hey, you know what? Why don't we camp in this corner? Why don't we watch this side and you watch this? And then right when we practiced, we got so good at it. People are asking like, hey, how do you do it? It's because we put our time into it. So it was a grind. Like we were grinding from like 2 p.m. to like 8 p.m. And it's a lot of hours. For the first couple months, we were putting it all in. And yeah, that is very important. And then at the time we had I think Sapphire as a manager, or yeah, and things weren't so. I mean, she did a great job. She did everything perfectly, but we needed an actual like person in charge of critical ops, and that's when Judge stepped up because his device was broken, and I was like, Judge, I think you should be the manager. And messaged Pont, and Pont messaged me like, hey, what do you think about this? I'm like, dude, Judge is the great guy to do it. I mean, he's really talented. He knows what he's doing. And when Judge got in the scene, things started to change. Things started going big. The community was in the GS was growing good. Everything was good, man. So yeah,
Right
that
now,
is
so walk us through. Okay, so you guys have basically won almost every tournament from when you
yeah.
guys started to win to now, and
Mm-hmm.
every tournament win is important. Is the winter season, is that just as big as the first one, or did they gain in value and importance? Obviously, you guys got to go to Vegas. You didn't get to play, but I mean that was a big landmark. And then
Mm-hmm.
now the future land coming. I'm assuming your team will be there. That will be an even more groundbreaking one. So does the importance level keep growing, or is it just continue to do the game, play as a team, and things will come?
Yeah, definitely play as a team. That's more important. As soon as like, um, I basically just I guess keep grinding. But yeah, all these tournaments are important, but it depends on like I guess like for example, well, I think you're trying to say is it getting better or is it getting worse? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like what was like the most important win for you guys?
I think the very first Alliance, we were really excited about it, and then the last one, which was a hard one because we had this issue with Elite, and basically like it was unexpected. Everybody on the
Uh,
team was like, "What the fuck?"
yeah.
And so our team just chemistry, everybody's mood, everybody just dropped down. Like their confidence was shot down. We were just like, what the fuck? And so we got destroyed. And then we like started grinding again, back to the basics, grind, and then boom, like we started winning. We started playing better. We started to get our confidence back and get it back on our feet. So that was a good one. Definitely.
Yeah, because after the elite situation, a lot
Mhm.
of hate came out, and it's very unfortunate. But that's just how the community is, and I think
Mhm.
what you guys showed was the importance of, like you said, getting your team and grinding. And I believe, to me, I think this is the biggest win for you guys because the importance of showing you guys could win without elite, who was caught hacking, was a big deal for you and your organization. So I
Yeah.
think I think that also like proved a lot of the doubters and the haters wrong because you guys you dropped one to D2R, and I'm sure that was a huge loss for you guys.
Yeah.
And then semifinals come up. Now let's talk about the now I guess infamous strategy on Plaza.
Mhm.
In my opinion, I even posted about this. I thought that was brilliant. A lot of people didn't like it. I thought that was brilliant because, you got to use what's in the game.
Yeah.
How did that come about? And like, were you guys like, should we do this? Should we not do this?
it actually, it was kind of funny. We were like playing around, you know, and then MVP just like, hey, you know what? He knew. I felt like everybody on the team were doing their thing, but MVP, like, he was lacking his gun skills at that time, and he was like choking. I kind of noticed it. He was not doing that great, and he's like, you know what? I can't help out with the gun skills, so I'm gonna use what I got, you know. And so he got the nades out, started throwing nades. He got like 3 kills, whatever. Kept on getting kills, but I mean, it was all just like, hey, you know what? Solar Elite, you guys used to do this. So now it's just going to be like, once we like, hey, you know what? Why not just use it? Why not use the strat, you know, against other teams? And so we pulled out those nades and we were trying to, you know, win that round. I mean, it was very important for us to win. And it's in the game. If it's in the game, you got to play by the rules, you know, and that's what we did. Yeah, like, auto for sniping, for example, yeah, it's a dick move to do, but if you buy an auto and you start using it, I mean, of course people are going to be like, hey, you know, that sucks, you know, whatever, but it's in the game, you know, and I'm going to use it and try to win, you know. So of course the strat is useful, so we used it.
Now, were you guys nervous going into the finals? I know you guys had some roster changes, like you said, and a couple new people were added before you know, the semis. Was there any worry, or was it just like, all right, well, we got this? You guys have some very, very experienced players you've won before on your roster. Was it just telling the newer guys to just, you know, believe in what we're doing, trust the process, and everything's gonna, you know, turn out well?
Can you repeat the question again?
Like the addition of the new players coming into the semis and the finals. Were you guys worried about playing IFL in the finals?
Yes, we were kind of worried because MVP barely plays with us, and I mean, he just joined, so it's like our chemistry was like, you kind of have to adapt to us, or we adapt to you, and he was kind of halfway to adapting to us. SMG and MVP, both of them, like, they're brand new players on the team, and we kind of don't have a chemistry with them at that time. And once we you know, we kind of explained to them like, hey, this is how we play, try to get used to it as soon as possible because we got big tournaments coming up. And then they kind of did. Everything went perfect. You know, we explained it. We had, you know, Judge explaining it. We had Kingwin explaining. I explained a lot of things to them as well. Like, hey, you know what? You watch this site. We got this covered. So just focus on yourself. Try to get those kills. Try to play smart. Don't be dumb. You know, and that's what we did, and improved a lot actually. If you fix your team first, you are going to have a better chance in the future. So like, always fix your team is the number one priority. Like, get that fixed first before you go on to the second part, the second step, third step, whatever, trying to, you know, win. Just fix your team first. Communication as well is a key to the game as well. So try to make sure everyone's communicating.
Right on. Obviously, you're tied into the community and the esports scene, so I'm sure you've seen the tweets and the posts about this new team coming. How do you feel like that's going to affect the comp scene? Is that a great thing for the comp scene? I think it is. And do you think that the competition is going to be a lot tougher or not? I mean, obviously we both know the players that are going to be on this team, and does that worry you from an outside perspective? And then also give us your opinion on how it's going to affect the comp scene.
Not worried because I know all of these players and I've played with them before and I know how they play. So not worried, but yeah, it's pretty cool that they kind of got together and they're going to bring a new scene to this community because we see players back and forth switching teams, you know, left and right. So it's finally something's going to be keeping that team together. And hopefully we have another powerhouse in this, you know, game. So like another big card, like we have D2R, GS, we have IFL. Now that this team is coming out, it's going to be bringing more NA like scene. Basically, more fun to watch, to see who's better, and it's all about having fun actually. And I kind of enjoy it, and seeing them play is awesome. I'm glad they're back. Hopefully, we'll see them in the future.
Hmm. Speaking of the future, let's talk about LAN. So, you got to go to Vegas. That experience was great.
Yeah.
I'm 100% assuming your team's going to go to the announced LAN. Any preparations that you're going to do differently this time, or how do you want to enjoy the experience more? Last time you vlogged a lot. And what would it mean for you guys to take down that championship?
So we have been working on our own strats and how we're going to be using them at LAN against other teams. Yeah, we don't use them in tournaments or like practice at scrims or something like that, but we use it in our own practice, like inners and stuff like that. So we work on those, and we're thinking of using them in the LAN because they're really effective. And yeah, so we have our own cards on the table, but we're not using them yet until we get to LAN. And at the moment, like, yeah, we're excited about LAN and we want to win it. So we'll do whatever it takes to win that. So we will be using all of our strats, all of our best methods, everything that we can to improve our game skills, our game sense, everything, and teamwork in general, our team chemistry, communicating, all these things. Of course, they're going to be top notch, basically, I guess.
Right on. The last few things I have is going to be questions from the community. I posted a tweet earlier, and I'm just going to ask a couple of them. The first one I have actually comes from Gankstars, and the question is, which do you prefer, a pistol or a pan?
Pan, for sure.
Definitely the pan. Okay.
Yep, pan.
This next question comes from Gaming Freaks Oz. Who is your favorite comp player besides yourself?
There's a lot of good players out there, but at this moment, I would say probably Solar. He's been improving so much, and he spends so much time on the game itself, and like he actually puts a lot of work. He goes over his mistakes. He gets mad whenever he messes up, and that shows a lot for me because like I used to do the exact same thing. Like I would go and watch my replays, see like, yo, what did I do wrong? Why did I play this bad? Or why did I do this stupid mistake? And that's what Solar is. Solar is basically just fixing his mistakes. He's getting better and better, and he's been improving a lot lately. And yeah, this is one of my favorite players to watch. So at this moment, he's been changing a lot.
Awesome, that's great. The last question is from It's Cool Bro. What was the hardest tournament you ever fought, or I'm assuming he's meaning played in?
That's a good one. I would say back when I first joined GS, we had Pun, Vulcan, and Phenom. Yeah, there we go. We were playing against Team Phoenix, and we just got like destroyed against like 13-6 or 13-7, I believe. But those were the hardest tournaments because I was carrying my team at that time, and like it was like mostly 99% of the time I would be carrying. But those were hard because at that time I was also battling with like with myself because I want to win so bad, and you would do whatever it takes to win, but your team isn't there for you. So like that was super hard for me, but I got used to it. I got used to losing, and once I started to lose a lot, I started to learn like, oh, this is what it feels like to lose, and can't wait to feel what it's going to be like to win. So now that we're winning, and if we lose something like a tournament, I can take it. I'm like, yeah, it's okay, whatever, but whenever I see like people that consistently win and then they lose for the first time, they're like freaking out.
Yeah.
Think it's over and everything. So like, it's a good thing for me.
Yeah, they don't know how to rebound from a loss. I mean, because like you said, and we mentioned earlier, you guys didn't come out winning, and it makes you really appreciate when you really do win. So the last thing I guess I want to say is, do you have any shout outs, any thanks or appreciations you want to give out to your fans and your friends and your community? And then a lot of people always ask, how do you get noticed in the comp scene, which is a very common question, and we'll finish on that.
Shout out to Judge. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Solar. Shout out to everybody that's basically been with GS for the start and to this end. There's a lot of players that came and go. I mean, come and go, but is the one that stick out that matters the most. So thanks to all those players that are here. Now the question was
how to get noticed in the pro scene.
All right, to get noticed is very simple. You join a team. It could be any random team, and then you take that team and you play against a better team. Once you top frag against that better team, the better team will be like, hey, you know what? This guy's actually good. And so they to grab that player and they take you and they play against another team. And then you kind of face a higher tier team, and that's how you kind of get to another team. So it keeps going. It's like a level. Like once you play and you top frag every game against other good teams, they're going to notice you and they're like, hey, you know what? Let's pick this guy up. And that's how you get into a bigger team and a better team and a bigger team. So it's kind of like a level that I've noticed. I've noticed this from the start. Like I was looking at all these players and how they got there. It's just super simple. Is they start off with something small and they build, they get really good and they play against good teams. They, they get top frags, whatever. And other teams, they notice it and they're like, hey, you know what? This guy's actually really good. Let's pick him up. And then boom, it keeps going like that. That's how you get noticed in the pro community. That everybody's on Discord. So definitely start trying to get into a clan and get there.
Right on, man. Thank you very much for doing this interview. Also, good luck to you guys in the Mobile Esports Pistol Tournament. Definitely a fun style tournament. And I really appreciate you being on here. Shout out to our fans. And I'm Legacy saying
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.